Hi, Miss Hello Famudem. On a good morning, on a cabo. The representative from the Human Rights Commission, they ask a question. Waiting that you take on the constitutional review. You will can listen with get for say. Wait they want for do, and he say this time around, at least let they work very hard that they able at least 1 year time let they able review everything so that we no go near election, because if we see we go near election just now speculation go dey boku. Some man go say, hey, why make una wan come review constitution wey una know say election dey come, let we wait till election done. So this time around he say e dey big because of the second term of the president and 1 year just done. So within these 4 years, at least let they use 1 year for do all the review so that quick one we will get this thing, right? So everybody for take part. And another day say, but una go can listen to Mrs. Lavaly, waiting here for say, waiting at there you take as a human rights defender. Una thank you. Always share the video, like, comment, subscribe, so that this information will go far, because this information it need for go far. People need for know exactly what is happening. Okay, this now national constitution whether they try for review. It's not like the new one that they make, but now the one we from 2007 to now where they be done process. Now the same process that they take, but they just want for do and now at least let it happen this time around. So again, subscribe as I always say, like the video and share also so that the message will go far. I wanna thank you.
In answer to your question, I just lay out firstly, as you see, I'm also a lawyer, so we Honorable Deputy Minister said they talk, we also look at human rights, they look at the constitution as a very important, I mean, as you say, that the bedrock of the society. When we talk about human rights, when we talk about rule of law, without a constitution as a new state, as a country since 1961, as a country, waiting make we would have be by the constitution. And we don't get several over the years, but the latest one we use that is 1991. And at this 1991 constitution, we say they will review. And why would they review? Because they say at the time when it came to being, it was not a participatory process. It would be just a come up from a one-party state, and they needed to include multi-party elections, and then a small group of people be actually sit down right and quickly, so that before able get elections. So because of that history, when we get war, and people that they say that because also the constitution they're not really able to implement it. Because 1991, before the war was never really implemented. It was passed in 1991, we go straight into the war 1992 going onwards. There's instability, 2001, 2002, now we go into stability, and then we say, no, we'll look back at this law. So as Honorable Deputy John explained, it's been a long process. But the TRC, Truth and Reconciliation Commission, where the body also will make even the Human Rights Commission come to be, say, this is an opportunity. Now we don't go through the war, we don't go through all the bad, we don't see waiting at the issues. Let us look at the constitution with fresh eyes and then come up with something we really bind them. We hold as a nation, we make sure everybody their rights, they will be covered, protected, that they will be fulfilled, because now the state's obligation are there. So the TRC talk about the constitution and after the TRC recommendation said the government will really consider, forget the new constitution. For them, their own recommendations are new. But over the years, we look at really as a revision for saying we change aspects, not so everything bad. We get a lot of good things in the existing 1991 constitution, but how we will change, how we will add, how we will subtract. So that's what this process has been. And as I say, it don't take long. From 2007, we've been battling till within now 2024, we still talk about it. But from the human rights point of view, we want to let the process done, because a lot of work has gone into it. And we don't do a lot of work, as you know, outlined. The last one will be the Justice Cowan committee. The Human Rights Commission was represented in that time. They will get Justice James King and Commissioner James King as she was then, and Commissioner Yusuf Sharif and others, and where they go represent, then come up with ideas. How do we make sure that the constitution get a human rights-based approach, that the constitution include everybody, women, the youth, the persons with disability, and make sure say that whatever the provisions they're compatible with waiting government they go sign internationally. Because the Human Rights Commission is not just okay for the president or ministers or representatives in the different embassies and they sign on behalf. But when they sign, the spirit and letter of waiting they sign also be captured inside the constitution. So for we don't always heartily congratulate the executive for say once they're ready to move this process forward, we are pleased. Because it's also a recommendation for the Universal Periodic Review, where other countries and the reviews review. They say, when I tried on this process, we started. Now we're talking about 20 years, when I tried on. Then when I get either a new constitution or a revised constitution, where they look at all the emerging issues. So for we that day, we look forward to. I want a time scale. As it allude, the reason why also then process the honor they do, because at the time where it went done, election they carry on. And then everybody they say, oh, they want to change the constitution for give more time, extra time, or they want to change whatever, you know. So in the final say it's difficult. 2017, the eve of election for 2018, they say, we don't want Nazi Parliament kick out. Just before then we had in 2019, let's start the process 2022. By that time, with President Biode in governance, the next year is going to be elections. Can you come up with a new referendum? Can you come up with a referendum for change? No, it will make it difficult. So now is the opportune time. We just don't go 1 year into a 5-year term. So if anything, we really look forward to say that the Ministry of Justice go move this process forward. At least let it not take more than 1 year. Because if not, we start moving towards the end of another term, then we get the same problem. And so much resources don't really go. So much resources don't go into having this constitutional review. So as I say, we look forward to the process. We look forward to any emerging issues then that they also look into and capture. And also, for we, every year, we get one scorecard. Government get one scorecard. But we as the Human Rights Commission, we get one scorecard when at the State of Human Rights report, we will do every year, in which we assess the government's how they make citizens enjoy their rights, how they make citizens, how they fulfill the rights and when they don't sign up to. So every year we do that. So for we every year we get for rights what is the constitutional review process updates, waiting at the recommendations and from UPR where government we don't accept and we don't take on board. And we hope to say that inside this 2024 we'll get the opportunity for say finally that this process don't really done. And why this thing important before Mr. Minister said, this constitution now about accountability. As you say, it sets out the relationship between citizens and the states. So the one they will they elect, the one they will they appoint. How then they carry their duties. Now that's for that. And what are the human rights approaches that they use? And then even more importantly also, citizens, what's their responsibility? Because that's something we're really lacking. I think there's only one section 30, where they talk about citizens' responsibility. And when they say as a country that responsibility will not take on board. So even as much as we look for the process, we also hope say that the aspect of responsibility will count more, so that people know that Sierra Leone will make if people they not take up their responsibility. Even as the Minister of Youth Affairs they talk about this, if the youth say where they train, they not come out and take up the training and use them in a good way. Instead, they want to go maybe do temple run or other thing. It means all this effort is going to go in vain. Yeah. So responsibility now a very key side where we as the Human Rights Commission also got to look forward for say the Ministry of Justice as they review the white paper and decide which one they can go to Parliament, where indeed again we all will get the opportunity for being involved in that process, and then for the referendum where they will need for one in a question where people will understand, because usually referendum is yes or no.
Yes.
If you see you say no, some people say no, you don't know. That means say, oh wait till they don't do that for nothing. And we hope say they will do a process where everybody will look at it and say yes, and the process pass.
Thank you so much.